And we are in Psalm 108, starting at line 5. Be exalted, O God, above the heavens, and your glory above all the earth, that your beloved may be delivered. Save with your right hand, and hear me. And so let's go ahead and elaborate at 5. So it says, be exalted, O God, above the heavens, and your glory above all the earth. And clearly, that's, put God up there on that pedestal, above the heavens, and your glory above all the earth. 6, that your beloved may be delivered. Save with your right hand, and hear me, or answer me. And so that sends us to Psalm 60, 5 through 12. That says, that your beloved may be delivered. Save with your right hand, and hear me. God has spoken in his holiness. I will rejoice. I will divide Shechem and measure out the valley of Succoth. Gilead is mine, and Manasseh is mine. Ephraim also is the helmet for my head. Judah is my lawgiver. Moab is my washpot. Over Edom I will cast my shoe. Philistia shout in triumph because of me. Who will bring me into the strong city? Who will lead me to Edom? Is it not you, O God, who cast us off, and you, O God, who did not go out with our armies? Give us help from trouble, for vain is the help of man. Through God we will do valiantly, for it is he who shall tread down our enemies. And so this psalm here, that we already covered, it's a teaching psalm that, David, wrote to help his people. And so the theme is a prayer for deliverance of the nation. And so this was an individual lamenting psalm or communal lamenting psalm for that one. And so let's go back to Psalm 108. So it says in line 6, so that your beloved may be delivered, save with your right hand and answer me. And so that talked about that in Psalm 65 through 12. Let's look at line 7 of 108. God has spoken in his holiness. I will rejoice. I will divide Shechem and measure out the valley of Succoth. Gilead is mine, Manasseh is mine. Ephraim also is the helmet for my head. Judah is my lawgiver. Moab is my washpot. Over Edom I will cast my shoe. Over Philistia I will triumph. And so in that stanza right there, we just read all of that, or part of that, in Psalm 60. So let's go ahead and elaborate at 7. So God has spoken in his holiness, I will rejoice. And so let's look at Psalm 89:35 for that. That says, once I have sworn by my holiness, this is God talking, I will not lie to David. And clearly, that's why, David has a reason to wake up and rejoice, because he knows that God did not lie to him. All right. And then look at 36 in Psalm 89. His seed shall endure forever, and his throne as a sun before me. It shall be established forever like the moon, even like the faithful witness to the sky. Selah. And so that's a reason for David to rejoice, because he knows that God has been faithful to him, and God has never left him nor forsaken him. And then then he goes on and say, I will divide Shechem and measure out the valley of Succoth. And then God is talking, this is God is talking, I will divide Shechem and measure out the valley of Succoth. Gilead is mine, Manasseh is mine. Ephraim also is a helmet for my head, or the protection for my head. Judah is my lawgiver. Moab is my washpot. Over Edom I will cast my shoe. Over Philistia I will triumph. And so if you go back and listen to Psalm 60, then I, elaborated on each one of those names and what they meant, as a reference scripture to that. And so we're going to go ahead and pause here and then we'll pick it up in our last stanza.